APIs are like tools in a workshop. Each one is built with a very specific job in mind. Could be about fetching data, triggering workflows, or perhaps connecting different systems. However, the problem is that today in most companies, these APIs are scattered all over the place. Some are tucked away in old repos, others are buried in docs, and others exist in the minds of a handful of engineers as tribal knowledge. In other words, there's no organization here, no clear labeling, no way to know what's out there or how to use it. Kong's service catalog solves this problem. It organizes your API sprawl into a well-stocked, clearly labeled toolbox so that your teams can quickly find the right APIs to use, understand how to use them, and ultimately be able to reuse and leverage each other's work. So how does the product work? First, we'll talk about integrations. Service Catalog connects with the tools that your team already uses. This includes PagerDuty, GitHub, Datadog, Jira, Slack, Dynatrace, and so on. These integrations serve as external sources from which Service Catalog can pull data so that you as the user can enrich your catalog. These integrations span a wide variety of categories, including API infrastructure like Kong Gateway and Kong Mesh, source code management systems like GitHub and GitLab, observability platforms like Datadog, communication tooling like Slack, and many more, with additional integrations continuously being added. So, once I've authorized Service Catalog to communicate with one such application, how does the communication actually happen? At the core of this are resources. Resources are the atomic units of a catalog. They are generic JSON objects that represent the individual components flowing into the catalog from all of the integrations that the users have authorized. These could, for example, include an API from Kong Gateway, a repository from GitHub, an on-call rotation system from PagerDuty, an observability monitor from Datadog, and many more. And so actually, it is these resources which are the raw materials of your service ecosystem. And note that these resources are not static. These objects carry live operational data that gives you real-time insight into what's running and how it's performing. More concretely, some examples of this live operational data could be when pull requests are opened and merged, when incidents are acknowledged and resolved, or when Kong plugins are installed and removed, and so on and so forth, so that you can get a nice timeline and a holistic understanding of how your services evolve on a day-to-day basis. From there, we have services which bring it all together. A service is a logical grouping of related resources which are bundled in a way that reflects how your teams actually think about their systems. This model reflects reality. The fact is, services aren't just APIs. They are complete operational units with code, infrastructure, documentation, monitoring, incident response, and perhaps most importantly, the people and the teams who own them. By bringing all of this context together, Service Catalog offers a 360 view of every single service in your company. It becomes a single source of truth, a one-stop shop for understanding how a service works, who is responsible for it, and how it's performing right now. Once again, in doing all of this, Service Catalog directly tackles the problem of API sprawl. Instead of scattered tools, tribal knowledge, disconnected systems, your teams can have a unified, accessible view of everything that they need to operate and evolve their services with confidence.